Get something to say.
Sweet.
I don't really have an intro or anything. Like that's why I've kind of been slacking a little bit. Like just being like, hey guys, come do the MuseMe TV. I know you have a podcast though. That's pretty cool. In the Way comedy or
In the Wry.
In the Wry.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's how dyslexic I am. Tell us a little bit more about it. Well, first of all, introduce yourself. Everybody, this is my friend, a local comedian here, Curt Flecher.
Yeah, I'm Curt Flecher. I'm a comedian. I've been doing stand-up for 20 years now. I started in Albuquerque in 2001, and the comedy scene was about
The same.
8
Better?
comics.
Was it better?
No.
No?
It was terrible.
Well, see, that's... Oh, man, that's crazy.
We had a comedy club, which was nice, but
I heard about
we had
that.
one open mic a month.
At that comedy club?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so when I got started, we had one open mic a month, and then a couple other people started opening some, doing some open mics here and there, but there weren't many at all. Like my first 2 years I did stand-up, I only did 25 sets.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Of all the open mics at the comedy club, right?
It was mostly at the comedy club, yeah.
Okay.
Plus some guest sets, yeah.
In Albuquerque?
Yeah.
Nice. That's so crazy to imagine too, because they start. I've heard stories about it, and like it's the Laughs, right? The
Laughs, yeah.
Comedy Club. And I'm just like, I had an old boss tell me he used to go there, and I'm just like, hey,
yeah.
I'm into comedy now. I'm trying comedy. He's like, oh, how is it now? And I'm just like, I don't know. How was it back then? Like there was a difference back then, I guess. Like it was more known that you can go to a comedy club to go see comedy compared to now, where they're just like, oh, is there comedy? I don't know. It's a little bit harder, I feel, to like post here that there is no comedy club. You being the veteran that you are, all these places that you've done, is there such a big difference when there is an actual established comedy club compared to like, hey, I'm doing a bar, hey, I'm doing a brewery.
A huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference, yeah. Because I tell people this a lot. In 2006, I got to perform at the comedy club 13 weeks as the host, which is like a quarter of the year. And I got to do, back then we had shows Wednesday through Sunday, which was 7 shows per week.
And you were the host of those.
And I would do, so I would do 7 15-minute sets all week. And, there's a crowd for every single one of those shows,
Yeah.
So I potentially could perform in front of anywhere from 600 to 1,000 people each week I performed.
And it's always rotating of different stuff.
And So, we'd get a lot of the same people who would come in. So that forced me to write a lot of new material and stuff, because a lot of times I'd be sitting there waiting to go on stage, and people were like, oh, we saw you a couple weeks ago. And I was like, oh, shit. Well, I'm going to throw on some new stuff then.
Well, that's actually good that you said that too, because as you know, there is that comedy spot that has comedy on Wednesdays, the Revel.
Yeah.
The Revel mic. A lot of my comedian friends have done it, and have done it multiple times.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I heard that the bartending staff was talking about is like one of the comedians will go on stage, they'll do their set, and while they're doing their set, the bartenders and stuff are talking to the other comedians, and they're like, hey, are you going up again? And they're like, yeah, we're doing another comedy night. They're like, oh, are you going to do the same stuff? Because, again, those people are there all the time, and they always hear the same material.
Yeah, but screw the bar staff.
They don't matter as much.
They're not paying customers. They're not following you on Instagram, buying your album.
And if they do, that's one, and they can follow for the rest of their life. Like, it's not they're expecting something different. Look at their job. They do the same job every week, too. Like, what do they think is going to happen? Oh, shit. Ted Turner's going to walk through or something stupid like that? No, it doesn't happen like that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I worked at the comedy club too, like not just as a comic, but I worked in the office and in the kitchen and stuff like that. And
so
a lot of times you see you can, some guys would come back every year and they'd have the exact same set, and it's like, you didn't write any new jokes at all from the last time, and that happens, I guess. But there were some guys where it was like just word for word they would do, and you can always tell like. Or there was this one guy, the wait staff would do their last call based on when this guy was going to do a certain point in this set, because it was always the exact same. Oh, dang. It's like, hey, when he starts doing this, we got to do last call.
It's about that time. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So as long as you've been doing it, though, you've gone almost different places in the United States, right?
Yeah,
I've
done
so many places.
32 states now, I think.
Are you trying to hit all 50?
I was thinking about it, and then I don't know. New Jersey doesn't sound very appealing to me, so I'll just do them all except New Jersey.
New Jersey's the one. Yeah, you're like, I'll go to Alaska. Fuck that. Yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That's so cool, though. Because again, I'm barely into this like comedy scene and barely getting into it. So learning more about the aspect and getting more into this whole thing is just like it's amazing to me because it reminds me of the band life. Because I used to play in a band and we did the whole thing where we'd do the gigs, we'd play a couple shows, go to different towns, try to do all this stuff, try to establish a fan base.
Yeah.
But you're up there by yourself, and not only that. I can practice as much as I want on my guitar and be really good. And every time I go up on stage, it's going to be good. But I can practice all I want writing. And once I go up there, if it's not good, I'll find out that first time I try.
Oh, yeah.
The practice is a different aspect, too. Like, you can practice all you want in writing comedy. But when you go up there and try it, it's so, I don't know. Because I still can't break that barrier where I can't be myself up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when I go up there, I'm just like, all right, let's do this. And then I'm just like... I'm getting nervous. They can see it.
Really?
They probably feel all that. And
to me, it seems like you're totally being yourself up there from what I've seen of you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've only seen you perform a few times, but I mean, you have good stage presence and you don't look nervous at all, which is nice.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Yeah. That's always good to
I know
hear.
you feel it. Like, I always felt that too when I was starting out, and I was like, God, can they see me shaking, you know? But I'd watch my video, and I was like, okay, you can't see shit.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the times you just watch it, and you're just like,
Yeah. And you could fake confidence, too, you know?
I mean, look at every actor we see, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool. I don't know, though. As time goes on now, when we were younger, I don't want to assume. How old are you, Curt?
41.
Well, okay, damn. You're 10 years older than I am.
Yeah.
I'm 31. But back in the day, wasn't comedy a little bit more like more raunchier and raw and like what's going on now, dude?
It's fun.
Everything's losing its touch. Like I'm so confused now because I'm so skeptical if I should go on stage. And I do have a joke where we're like the binary rapper joke or the N-word.
Yeah.
And there's some nights where it does great and other nights where it's just horrible and I seem like a racist. And it's so weird to like find the distinction in that when I'm doing the comedy and I'm just like, is it because of the crowd? Is it because of the way I presented it? There's, I don't know, so many different aspects. Coming from a veteran like you, what are some of these things that you feel up there?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely gotten different. Like, because when I started out, I was kind of like a shock comic, you know? I think that's how most of us start out. Like most male comics anyway.
See, I think that's another thing, too. I don't understand a bunch of these terms as, like, what would a shock comic be?
A shock comic would be like Troy Wilson. Would be considered a shock.
I thought he's more of an offensive comic.
Well, I mean,
is there a difference?
I don't know if there's a difference, but I've always known it as being a shock comic, where you're just telling jokes to shock people.
Okay.
You're not really necessarily going for the laugh. You're just kind of going for the shock factor.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I think that's how Troy started out. But he's gotten a lot better. Like his writing's gotten a lot better. He's writing punchlines that are funny. He's still writing them to shock people, I think. But
they have more of like a.
But that's how I started out too. Like I had a lot of jokes where it was like definitely pushing the envelope just to see how far I could go.
And just
you know what I mean. And I got away with it, like no problem. And then once I started working at the comedy club, the club owner kind of took me aside and showed me what to do, what not to do, and then like just from being at the club all the time too, watching the comedians perform, like how they adapted their material to the crowd, helped me like become a better writer for a comedy club audience.
Okay.
As opposed to like, I could do bar gigs. I could still do the shock material and stuff like that, but at a comedy club, you know. Especially as the host, you want to keep it fairly clean, just in case. Like, because if the headliner's clean, you know, they don't want like a filthy opening act or something like that. So
the I guess again, as a host's job, you're kind of like as this neutral playing ground, introducing these comics, still in a hype kind of way, right?
You're supposed to be, yeah. I wasn't. I was so deadpan back then, and I was so nervous.
Jesse Trevor, get on stage.
Yeah. That's the thing that weirds me out is like, in the United States, they have the worst comedian on the show as the host.
Isn't that like to get them to get better though?
I mean, it's to get better as a comic, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. But there are other countries where they have like an actual like headlining comedian will host the show, but then bring up the opening act, the feature, and the headliner.
So is that like an example of the Funny Festival last week where Stephen Michael Quesada was like...
He was the host, yeah.
The known comic
to
introduce all the, like, you know, Albuquerque local comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That
I did a show one time where Ron Jeremy was the host.
What?
So he... Yeah.
Do you actually put that down as one of your credits?
Not Ron Jeremy now.
Why though?
I would have about a year ago, maybe.
But now it's just like one of those...
Now that he's in prison, I was like, I don't want people to know that.
One of those things where you just kind of have to like, well, there goes that credit.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I'm pretty sure it was a packed house, right? A lot of people.
It wasn't too bad. It was on a Wednesday night in Denver, so it wasn't like crazy packed.
Okay.
But I mean, it was pretty good size for a Wednesday.
And especially in Denver, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Denver, packed here on a Friday is probably like a Wednesday crowd in Denver.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, and it's cool because Ron's sister is a lawyer in Denver, so I got to meet her.
and he's still in jail?
Yeah, well, raping people, you're going to go to jail.
You're not that good of a lawyer, I guess.
But she was telling me that Ron used to do stand-up before he got into porn.
What?
Like in the late 70s, like in New York City, like he used to perform with like Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had no idea.
That's kind of cool though, because understanding comedy now, learning about how people started, like one of my favorite comedians, and everyone gives me shit about it, was Tim Allen.
Oh yeah, Tim Allen's great
because it's all about man stuff.
Yeah,
and like growing up, I was like, oh, that's so cool, you know, like stupid. Oh yeah, like getting to my mom faster than she can, or the weirdest shit ever. But seeing where he ends up now is like stand up is not like, it doesn't seem like he was part of it. He's a great actor. He's been in multiple award-winning movies, and now he's just the iconic character for Woody. Like, that's him. You don't even know.
It's so crazy how many guys start. Like Jim Carrey, you know, did stand-up, and
Robin Williams,
of course,
crazy. Like, do you have any of those like kind of crazy people that you met when you were doing hosting jobs or like at the comedy store? Doing stuff like that?
Let me think.
'Cause I mean, again, your repertoire of credits has to be huge. Like, you probably...
Yeah, I've opened for a lot of pretty well-known people. I've done it so many times I forget all the names now, but...
You don't have like a little plaque or nothing?
No, I just got it on my website. I look at that from time to time.
What is it? CurtFlecher.com?
No, FunnyFletcher.com.
FunnyFletcher.com.
Yeah, CurtFletcher.com is some guy in Portland, Maine.
There you go. He lost it. He lost that one. You ever try to buy it from him?
No. He'll send me emails though that are supposed to go to me sometimes.
Okay.
He's a cool guy.
Nice. That was actually a funny story with somebody else that has a website. Do you see that local comedian? No, he's not local. He came here for a while, but his name was Loy Lee.
Oh yeah, I met him last week.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a cool friend, but he had a story too about Loy Lee comedy.
Oh really?
Yeah, because he tried to just get LoyLee.com, but it ended up being somebody else. And now they did that thing where they kind of got emails from each other and stuff. So that's crazy that happens when you're trying to brand yourself. There's so much people out there that how much are you really branding yourself? Because everyone's like, there's
there was one time where I was doing a gig in Taos or something, and the dude that set up the show Googled Curt Flecher, and there's a guy in Fort Worth, Texas, who's like a real estate agent that's written a book or something. He's got like some nickname. I don't remember what it was, but they used that guy's nickname on the flyer for my comedy show.
Okay.
He's like the likability guy or something like that, and I was like, that's not me.
The likability guy. You do have an auto sales.
Is that in Arkansas?
Curt
or something like that?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay.
Yeah. So there is that.
Yeah.
You are one of the first people that come up.
Good.
I do this thing where I do Google people's names to see where they come up in the Google list. And
nice.
Being this ranking is pretty cool.
That's mostly me, yeah.
But I think another thing, too, is my Google algorithm. So the true test is going to be to actually Google search you on DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happens on here.
I'm curious to see if
Let's see how much they're known on the DuckDuckGo server.
Actually, I just got a message the other day on Instagram from a Curt Flecher that I follow, and all it said was, "There can only be one."
That's it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I've been following the guy for so long.
Nice.
So it was pretty funny.
You did it, man. You're up there.
Nah, look at me. Nice.
That's what's up. Those are some credits to really, I think, are pretty cool. Or like when you're one of the comedians that come up there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you are.
There's me I was on a TV show.
On that one?
The third one there is, I was on a TV show here in Albuquerque.
Interesting.
Yeah. Spotlight on.
That's what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
Spotlight on comedians?
Yeah. Well, it was Spotlight on people from Albuquerque.
Okay.
I want to say Sarah Kennedy hosted that one with another local comic.
Interesting. So you've probably been part of the scene for a while, too. You've seen so many people come and go, like... That's probably crazy too. Like, did you see people with promise that might have been able to do something, or you're just like, this guy's washed up too?
No. There's always been some really good ones, and then, we've had some comics move away. We've had some quit. We've had some that just don't really perform that much anymore. And over the years it's been crazy. Like, but I'm just now getting back into the scene now, like, because I lived in Tulsa for a few years and then Denver for a little bit. So it's been probably about 5 years since I've been here, so I'm just getting to know all the newbies and stuff. So
nice. Well,
but there's a lot of really, really talented new people here, which is really cool. Plus, all the good ones that were here before. So I think it's a pretty strong scene right now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, compared to other places, right? Like,
yeah.
There's probably like comedy nowhere that they can like. I imagine the guys, there's a comedy group up in Santa Fe. They do some comedy too, but I think they are only able to really do like one mic a week.
Yeah.
Compared to like here in Albuquerque, where there's at least a little bit more going on in different places.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's probably, 5 or 6 mics a week here, maybe?
Yeah.
4 or 5?
Yeah, you should at least be able to get like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
A week.
Pretty cool.
So, and that's cool too, because Loy was talking about there's so many people that are like, you got to go hit the road, you got to go do all these different spots, but still just getting good is a thing you got to do too.
Yeah.
And a spot like this, even though it's not booming, the opportunities, the amount you can do is still pretty dope.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I kind of see that as like a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
I know I still need to work on some things, but I see it as like my guitar playing. Like I've been playing for so long. That's why I'm so good.
Yeah.
If I just keep doing this and
sure.
keep working at it, I'm pretty sure it'll be to that point where it's a lot more easier. I'm not doubting myself on stage and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed that as time goes on, I'm more picky about what I write, which is why I don't have as much new material. Like I'll write a joke and I'll be like, that's not good enough.
Just right away crumple the paper.
Yeah, yeah. Or sometimes I'll just put it away for something else. Like maybe I can use it as dialogue in a screenplay or something like that.
So what is your writing process like? As a comedian starting off, I've heard different aspects of how people write and what they start off in doing. Like what is some of the things that you do to write, come up with jokes and stuff?
Well, nowadays it's different because I don't know. I usually just write if I have an idea, which sucks. It's not. I wish I could. Like when I started out, in the first couple years, and I would write all the time, like nonstop. You know what I mean? And I need to get back to doing that. I had a writing partner back then too, which helped a lot, and we had similar styles, which really helped. And so because we were both one-liner guys, and nobody else was doing one-liners in the scene, so we hit it off really well, and then we started writing together. So I came up with this thing where every time we got together, we had to write 100 jokes. And so what it was, I would write him setup lines, and he would write me setup lines, and then we had to write a punchline for every single one of them.
Okay.
And regardless if it was funny or not. So I would do my 5 setup lines, he would do 5. We'd pass the paper to each other, write the punchlines, and then read them out loud, see if they're funny or not. And we'd do like 100 of those, like every time we got together.
A day?
Not every day. It was probably once a week.
Okay. But still within that time that you guys were together.
Yeah.
At least
and
100.
There were maybe like 3 or 4 that were like, okay, that'll go in the set. We'll see how that one goes.
Okay.
A lot of it was just garbage, but it was like...
practice.
Yeah, exactly. And some of it was like just inside jokes to make each other laugh or whatever. But it was always a good time. But it was really good to learn how to write. Like that helped a lot, like learning how to write one-liners and stuff like that, and like word management, like just shrinking, like getting it, as
smaller,
tight as possible.
Yeah, because I remember that too. Lloyd was always telling me that too. It's like if you think it's funny, it's because it is, but there's probably a lot of things that could be taken out.
Yeah, exactly. So we would go back and like, if the setup line was too long or something, they cut that down a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy too because it was just sitting down with pen and paper and writing these all down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I still do it too.
That's crazy.
I don't like typing it out.
No.
I like writing it out because for me, I'm thinking about the joke the whole time I'm writing it out. It's like, is there anything I can add to this? Is there like a tagline?
Okay.
Or something like that.
You're still on the word of the, and you're still trying to, I can still work on this joke now.
Or maybe this could go with another joke somewhere else in my set as a callback or something like that. Or maybe it'll help segue into like another joke or something like that,
Well, now you see it, the way technology works nowadays, people just have a recorder on them the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
So they're either recording their sets all the time, or they're talking into their phone when they have a joke that's like pops into their head, like, or they type it, but still, like, you kind of just, it's so crazy how it's like evolving into it. And now you see people that like come up with jokes in a meme form, or like, some kind of funny satirical like comment on something, like the trolls kind of kick ass sometimes when you find the right one and they're funny. Like, it's hilarious when you go through like some of the comment sections on YouTube and you're just like, wow, this guy's hilarious. Or on Twitter, those Twitter beefs all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That shit's hilarious too.
Those are pretty fun.
Do you ever have any, in the scene that you've been so far, have you ever had to deal with any, I guess, like physical altercations with anybody? Like maybe somebody running towards the stage, maybe somebody wanting to meet you after, maybe throwing something at you. Did I just name all of them?
No, yeah, I've had two instances. One was here in Albuquerque.
Of course.
Yeah, but it was at a private gig too.
Okay.
It was like a corporate event.
What was the name of the event? I'm just kidding.
It was I was performing for a company called Western Technologies.
Okay.
And
summer banquet, something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
like I think it was in October. I remember that. So I don't know if it was like just like a little company party or whatever, but there was a guy there, and I don't know if he worked for the company or not.
It might have been a +1.
He seemed like a +1.
I love this.
And I was kind of talking shit to him, kind of playing around, because I started my set like kind of roasting the company, because I didn't know anything about him. I just looked him up and roasted the company a little bit for 5 to 10 minutes, and then so I started picking on this guy, and I thought he was playing along, but I couldn't see him because he's like in the back. So I'm like, man, I hope this guy's playing around. And
but it seemed like it, right?
It seemed like it.
The crowd was loving it too.
Everybody was having a good time. Yeah,
okay,
it was going really well. And then he goes, "How about I cut your balls off?" And I was like, okay, he's goofing around for sure.
Nobody says that at a corporate event.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And then he starts like walking towards me, and I was like, oh shit, this guy's not fucking around. And he's a big cowboy dude. He's like 6'4", just a huge dude. And so I'm still talking shit as he's walking up there, and I was like, man, he's still coming. And then he pulls out a knife and then grabs my crotch, like down
Holy
here.
Holy shit, you got that close?
Oh yeah, he grabbed my crotch, and he's got this little pocket knife that he's got out. And I just like backed up with the microphone. I wasn't on a stage or anything. I was just behind a podium.
Yeah.
And so I like backed up, and he let go of me, and then he went and sat down, and I was just like, man, what the fuck's going on?
But you still went on?
Oh yeah. So I stood there for a little bit. I was like, man, that was weird. And so I was contemplating what to do for a second. I was like, man, if I leave, they're not going to pay me. It was a pretty good paying gig. So I was like,
I got to finish.
I was like, nobody did anything. So I was like, I'm just going to tell more jokes, I guess. So I just went back and like started telling more jokes. And then every once in a while when I knew he wasn't paying attention, I kind of like made fun of him and stuff. And he left the room for a second. And I was like, what the fuck was that?
Did anybody else feel awkward?
I have no idea. It was just so weird. Like, and Sarah Kennedy opened for me. And
at that show?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like I should have had Eddie Stevens open for me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was scary as hell.
And okay, so I'm probably imagining too at that gig they're just like, oh, that's Chuck. Chuck, Chuck's always grabbing testicles.
See, that's what I was thinking too. Afterwards I was talking to a couple of people. I was like, did you know that guy? They're like, no. They like maybe he works in a different department or some shit.
They're like, damn, the janitor, somebody.
Yeah. I was like, that was weird. Oh. And then another time, I was in Oklahoma City, and they had this lady kept heckling me, and she wouldn't shut up. So I was just like, "Hey, if you're here, who's guarding your meth lab?"
Oh shit!
And she got pissed. Like she started walking towards the stage, and the security guard had to grab her.
And you're just like, you set yourself up for that one.
Yeah. And then her friends afterwards were apologizing and stuff, and then one of them's like, I think she really does have a meth lab.
You hit the nail right on the head. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of comedy, too. Like, when you get somebody upset like that, you're just like, wow, I was just kidding. But if it's really your life, then you're the one that has problems. It's always been a great experience. That's fun. I've only had one bad moment where I kind of made fun of this guy's age, where I was like, hey, it's your birthday. And he's like, yeah, it's my birthday. And I said, it looks like you're turning 50 instead of 31, something like that. And he just threw a lighter at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was just like, did anybody else see that? And nobody said nothing. I was like, great, well, just let this guy in again.
That's funny. What was the gig? What was the venue?
So it was at the, you remember when it was actually called the Trick Lock?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was at that one. It was actually a gig hosted by Kevin Kennedy.
Okay.
So I was on one of his gigs, and, it's a little decent crowd. I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. I went up there. I did like 2 opening jokes, and then I was just like, hey, is anybody having a good time? And that dude is the one that's like, yeah, it's my birthday. And I was like, oh, how old are you turning? Made fun of his age, and then he threw the lighter.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow. And that was my first experience with that. But I could imagine it gets probably worse for certain people. Some people actually probably have to fight people at the end of a show or something. Like,
oh, yeah. One of my friends that I tour with all the time ended up in a hospital.
Jeez.
There was a guy there, and my buddy after the show was just kind of talking shit and being silly, with the people in the crowd. And he wasn't sure if this guy was actually at the show or not. And this guy came up. He left, but then he came back and he had like I don't know what it was, but he hit my buddy in the head with it, and like knocked him out, and he ended up in the hospital for a few days, and like, jeez, yeah, fucked him up pretty bad. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's people start drinking and think you're talking shit, and
and that's the beautiful thing. This is some of the contradictions that I find with comedy is like you can't have a comedy club if there's nobody selling alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be alcohol sales going on at this club.
Yeah.
But yet that brings up the aspect of somebody getting too drunk, getting too out of hand, and having to be kicked out of the club.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that role inside of that, too. So there's so many. Like, I could wonder why Albuquerque doesn't have a comedy club. Like, it's probably gone through so many of those fuck-ups. Like, did you know anything about the box when it was out? Like, how long I heard it only lasted a week or something? Like,
the box?
Yeah, so...
Oh, no, the Comedy Vault. Is that what you're
talking about? The Comedy Vault. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it was called, right?
And then the one that was open for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was in the same location where the box is, right?
No, the box has been there for a long time.
Okay, so...
This was somewhere on Central.
Oh, okay.
The Comedy Vault.
Tell us more. Give us a little history on what's going on in Albuquerque.
Okay, so
I don't know
I wasn't living here at the time when that opened, but I had talked to the guy who was opening the club, and he booked me for a headline spot in December so I could come out and visit my family and perform and stuff.
Okay.
So he opened the club, I think it was in May. I don't remember what year, but it was May. And one of my friends that owns a club was telling me that this guy asked him to be a partner with him. So he flew out and met with him to see like what his plans were and stuff like that, and he asked him for a business plan. He didn't have one, so
he just had this idea.
My friend was like, "All right, I'm out," you know. So yeah, he opens the club, and he was planning on paying rent with ticket sales, which is stupid.
Okay,
you should always have
something backed up.
For sure.
Okay. Some kind of to pay for the venue, right?
Oh, yeah.
Any business that starts off loses money, right?
For sure.
So
Yeah. So yeah, my buddy called me. He's like, yeah, he's probably not gonna last very long, But then all this other stuff started happening. Like, I just found out he was a dick, and he treated my friend Holly like shit. So I emailed him and I was like, hey man, I'm not gonna do that date in December for you if you're treating people like that,
Okay.
And then so he sent me back another email all shitty, like, if you're gonna believe those people, blah blah. I was like, yeah, they're my friends, dickhead.
That's the difference between. That's what I love about the comedy scene too. Is like you have these people that you've done comedy with, and you have these like connections with.
Yeah.
And you have these other people that are just like, hey, I'll book you for a gig, or hey, you're pretty cool, I'll hang out with you for a few days or something. But then you still have your friends that are just like, hey, they kind of let you know of the weariness of what's going on. When I started the comedy scene, I was introduced to a few people that I'm like, whoa, that guy's kind of sketchy, and like, that guy's weird as fuck. Like, I don't, that's weird. Like, and that's so crazy because you would think it's more of like a community thing, but I feel like I'm just back in high school trying to like make friends again. And shit. Like, oh, it's so.
I was actually, I was in Austin one time, Austin, Texas, and me and this other comedian, I just met him. He's from St. Louis, and we're talking about comedy scenes and how it's exactly like high school.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So speaking more about what you're doing here in Albuquerque, you are hosting a show on Mondays at the Inside Out. Yeah. You actually have one coming up, the Night of the Living Comics, right?
Oh yeah.
What was your idea on that? Like, what makes you want to do that?
I had seen some other other comics had done that before. Like, I think Sarah Kennedy did that one time at the Box several years ago, and then they always do one like that in Tucson.
Okay.
And I thought it'd be a fun idea, because the Launchpad is doing a bunch of nights of the living cover bands and stuff. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to do comedians performing as famous comedians.
Nice. And with that aspect, is it them doing their material or kind of just presenting themselves like that?
It's going to be them doing their material unless they want to write in their style.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that should be fun.
I'm excited about it.
Got a good couple good acts on there and stuff. I saw Keith posted on the stuff too. I've only seen Keith very once in a while, but he's a really big prominent person in the scene, right?
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. See, that's how much I don't fucking know about anything that's going on here.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, Keith's been at it for about a decade, and then AJ Martinez is going to do the show, who doesn't perform very often anymore. Okay. And Joe Quesada. I don't know if you've met Joe.
I think I did see him at the Box or.
Yeah, he was hosting that late show.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's fun.
Yeah, it's cool to see those guys again. Because they kind of disappeared for a bit, and then now they're back doing some shows.
Is that kind of like what I mean? Is that how comedy really works though? Is it kind of like you dip your toes in it, hopefully you get picked out of the bucket, and if you don't, then you're just like, oh well, I guess I'll live my life for a little bit longer.
I think it's different for everybody. Like, I decided comedy was going to be it for me. Okay. You know what I mean? I didn't have a backup plan. Like, I was going to be a comedian and that's it. And I think it's different for other people, especially people who have like families and stuff. It's hard to say, well, I'm going to be a full-time road comedian.
That's hard, right? Like,
yeah.
Being the comedian that you are, don't you have a family and stuff?
No, I don't.
You're just a single.
Well, I have a daughter. She lives with her mom, or she did live with her mom.
Okay.
And then I was married for a little while, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But she was a comic too, so she was like super cool.
So you guys already kind of wanted to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It did make it pretty hard though.
Like, what do you mean?
It's you have to have like a super super cool wife to be on the road all the time.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Even what is it like dating comics?
My last girlfriend was a comedian in Tulsa, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, we got to do a lot of gigs together and write together and stuff like that.
Because you guys were together, or because you were seen together, or just because you guys mentioned each other because of the thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess probably because we're together, we gotta,
they're like, hey, Curt, can you find me someone else? And just right away.
Yeah. There were times where I could take her on the road and she would host the shows and stuff like that just because she was there.
Okay.
Type of stuff like that. So, it could be good and bad, I guess.
But obviously it didn't last, so there was some bad.
Yeah, she was kind of nuts.
Dude, that's what I hear about all comics that are like every comic's a nut, but then again, most of them are like, hey, if I do get with the comic, it's kind of fun. Then it's not. Like, I don't know. It's weird. I dated a comic for a little bit, but
oh, really?
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, because it's like, comedy's my thing. You go do your thing.
What are you doing now? Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it could definitely be a challenge. I've seen couples that tour together though. That's that's pretty cool.
Well, you see it in some like the greats, right? Like what's Your Mom's House? Those two.
Oh yeah.
Tom and Christine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those two, or Moshe and Natasha Leggero.
I
always hear about those two, and I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Lucky.
Yeah.
Douchebag, you look horrible.
And then you get the ones like Jim Gaffigan's wife was very funny, but she decided to stay home and raise the kids, and Jim would go on tour.
Oh, okay.
She
played the womanly role right away.
Yeah. But I think she was a comic as well, and she still writes like some of his material and stuff.
Nice.
So,
being a comic or any kind of entertainer, aren't you just trying to look for that big break?
Yeah.
Is that kind of why you started to do it? Like, were you kind of thinking like maybe I'll be able to like get a gig on a sitcom or host a game show maybe?
No, actually, I never wanted to do any of that stuff.
Open up for Boiling for Soup or something?
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
We can talk about that too. That's crazy too.
Oh, yeah, I love those guys.
You know those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had any desire to be famous or anything like that. I just wanted to be a headliner and like be able to live comfortably, where I wasn't getting bothered all the time.
That's still a little bit of fame though, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
But with comics, it's like with a nationally touring headliner, like a guy like Chad Daniels. Like I've known Chad for years, and he's like pretty famous now. But like, he could probably go anywhere in the country and eat lunch, and not many people are going to be like, oh my God, it's Chad Daniels.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Can I get a picture?
Yeah. So, like, and I'm not shitting on Chad Daniels. Chad Daniels is great.
And he does make a living off of it.
Oh, yeah. He's doing well, He's got like 5 or 6 albums out, and like that'd be cool. Like being at Chad Daniels level.
Famous.
Yeah. Something like that. But, I actually worked with this guy, Finesse Mitchell, a few years ago. And he was like, I don't know if you know who he is. He was on SNL for a couple years, and he was on a show called Roadies.
Finesse
Mitchell, yeah. He was asking me if I'd ever done any acting, and I was like, not really. I did some independent films and stuff.
Oh yeah, you know what that means, ladies. SNL, right?
Yeah, but he was the one that told me I should like try to get into acting and stuff. And I haven't done it, but he's like, yeah, you have a good look for it. Like you could be you don't have to be a good actor either. You can just play yourself pretty much. Like just be like a sidekick on a sitcom or something like that, just delivering funny lines or whatever.
Is that him?
That's Lorne Michaels.
Oh shit. It says Jen Michaels. You said Fen Michaels, right?
No, Finesse Mitchell.
Finesse Mitchell. Do you see? I'm so dyslexic, dude. That's why that's so horrible. I really do blame the American public school system. Finesse.
I know people are going to be like, holy shit, Curt worked with Lorne Michaels.
Anyways, so yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun to do like a...
Okay, so then what if the opportunity was given to you? So we are in New Mexico. There is a Netflix studio. Amazon's building a freaking warehouse. You don't think they're going to bring their Amazon Prime studio or something here anytime soon?
Oh, I don't know. That'd be cool.
But if that opportunity did arise, is that something you would think about taking?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I would do like a fun little show or something. I don't know if I'd want to be like a game show host or anything, but
that's it. That's the only opportunity you're gonna get. They're just like game show host or talk show host. That's it.
I don't know if that would be very fun. I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of would. I'm too lazy though. I feel like there's a lot of work that goes into that. I think it'd be kind of cool though to be like on a sitcom and just be like not like a main character or anything like that. I have no
idea what I'm searching for.
Yeah, what are you looking at?
Did you see that? Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah, those are like animals.
I was like Finesse Mitchell's, and I kept coming up, but I think I kept putting Finesse Michael.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, whatever. This is why I don't fucking look up shit on my. This is why I need a young.
You need
Jamie.
A producer or something.
I need a young Jamie for that shit, and I'm trying to have a conversation here and not keep on looking at animals.
Yeah,
it's
how funny.
Horrible. So, anyways. Technology nowadays is getting more and more advanced every day.
It is, yeah. That's cool.
How do you feel about robots taking over?
Oh, I'm excited.
That's something you're into?
Yeah, because the customer service has gone to shit. I feel like robots will be like, yeah.
They're literally your voice recognition with everything.
Yeah.
The thing I feel crazy about right now is people are always like, oh, the government's always tracking us, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're so far into the future now, does that really even matter anymore? Like, they can see people from satellites on Google Images, like nothing. There's murders that have been solved. Have you seen stuff like that? Oh, yeah. That shit's so crazy. So what's not to say that we're just kind of pushing our way along into this robot body. Do you want to be a robot? That's all I'm trying to say.
No. I mean, I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. Maybe I do. I don't know.
So you have your phone.
I have a phone, yeah.
That's the start.
Yeah.
You're a wristband kind of guy, not a watch guy? You ever wear a smartwatch?
I have a smartwatch. I only wear it on stage, though.
Okay.
Just to keep track of my time.
Interesting. Do you, put the timer on or something?
No, I just look at the time. So 7:45. All right, I gotta get off at 8:15.
Interesting.
And then if I get a emergency text message, I could see that or something and freak out on stage. Like, oh my god! You're
like, oh shit! I just got an Amber Alert, guys.
Yeah. Do you guys need to call your babysitter?
That's a good one. But I don't know. I feel like people are freaking out for nothing. Like I want to embrace technology for sure. Like if it's a robot, if it's a robot I can fuck, I'm down.
Like a blowbot?
Well, kind of, but I don't know. Is it gonna be like? I feel like they still haven't gotten that technology yet to make it so interesting.
Yeah.
So they kind of just we're just stuck with fleshlights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's more realistic than the robot.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. Are you a fan of having a Tesla or something like that, like self-driving cars?
That would be cool, especially because, I'm on the road all the time. So, and now that I'm getting older, I fall asleep just randomly
on the wheel.
Sometimes.
Yeah, on the wheel.
Oh yeah, I have to drink a lot of energy drinks now. I used to be able to do long drives no problem, and now it's shit, I gotta drive 6 hours tomorrow.
Damn. And that's just straight shot, right? Because you want to get there on time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
But I used to be able to do the long drives no problem.
But Tesla would help you with that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
I would love it. They're trying to think of an idea where it actually would replace cars in general. So you would never really have to buy a car. Mm-hmm. You can just be like, hey, I need to go from point A to point B, and the Tesla car would stop, pick you up, and drop you off there, and then just do its next destination or whatever.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But if you were into buying a Tesla, you can buy a Tesla and still use your car to make money for you.
Uh-huh.
Because you can put it on taxi mode, and then while you're asleep at home, your Tesla's picking up all these people to take them across state lines to go do shows. But you still make money off it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Do you like that idea? Is that kind of something you're into? Does it kind of seem a little sketchy? A lot of people are like, well, what if they fuck up my car? But they're probably putting their information in there, so they're probably going to get financially screwed for the rest of their life.
Yeah, but and I'm assuming that a lot of people do that too. So I don't know. It's kind of weird thing to think about.
Let me just get the camera on you. He doesn't know people. Is the wrong side.
Seems like an episode of Black Mirror or something.
All those are actually happening. The ranking system.
Yeah.
That's a great one too. There's that thing where it's we're all just gonna be like a star system. Like, hey, Kurt's like a 4-star. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What would
I always wanted Yelp reviews for humans, something like that.
You think it'd be pretty efficient?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wish that it was like more like again, probably looking it up on your phone for that person is probably takes so long, and you could probably make fake Yelp reviews too.
Like, for sure.
And be like, hey, look up Angel Lopez, and it's like 25 reviews from me with 5 different accounts. Oh,
absolutely.
So there's stuff like that, but they're coming up with like more like recognition stuff, like like I don't know, the cameras can recognize your face now from a distance. I post a picture of us on like a comedy night and stuff, and it automatically is like, is this Curt Flecher? Is this Holly Bird? Is this like, I'm just like,
yeah, that's not weird.
Yeah, that's a little like getting there to the point where, is it more helpful for us or just making us stupider because we can't even remember people's faces and names?
I feel like people are getting dumber, but I don't know. Crowds are definitely getting dumber, in my opinion. Like over the years.
Well, one of the things I've actually been caught for was the controversy with the Dave Chappelle special. Did you see it?
I did, yeah.
How do you feel about the Dave Chappelle special?
I thought it was funny. Not his best work, for sure.
Why does everybody have to say that? That's always like a butt in a relationship.
Yeah. Well, it's like bands. You're always going to compare their albums and stuff. And like with comics, like big name comics, you always compare their specials or whatever. I don't think he's getting less funny or anything like that. I feel like a lot of people watch that special knowing they're going to hate it just so they could bitch about it.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand about society today. It's like, I feel like a lot of people do that with stuff. Like they just do something just so they can bitch about it. It's like, why don't you watch something you're going to enjoy and talk about that? But people don't do that.
Or they don't even know what they're upset about.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing too. Like
they'll go on Twitter and be like, "What am I pissed about?"
Yeah. What's trending so I can get mad about it?
Yeah.
That's what I try. Yeah. That's like literally what people do, and it's ridiculous.
But
all I posted was that I liked that special with the picture of like the flyer or whatever, the ones that they make for Netflix, and like have trans friends and like LGBTQ friends from like the Comic-Con scene and like playing in bands and like even doing the open mics at like Sidewinders and stuff. But the people that got so upset about it are the people that I've never seen at those places. Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, first of all, this is the wrong time to get in a fight for all this. But is it kind of hindering what comedy is going to become? Like, is comedy going to become dumber?
God, I hope not.
Doesn't it feel that way though?
It does.
Like that's the only shitty part is I feel like it's getting just a little bit more like, oh great, like maybe I shouldn't say that. You're second guessing yourself now because of what's happening out there with other people's backlashes. So I don't know.
Another thing too is like I feel like if I did post like that I liked his special, people would get pissed off at me.
It's crazy.
Isn't that a weird thing?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, people have different tastes and stuff. I don't know. I just, how people are these days. Like, oh, you don't agree with me? Fuck you.
What are you thinking? Do we need to have a Squid Games?
Oh man, that would be fun.
Do we need to do something to level out the playing field with everybody on this planet? Oh man, it's hard.
I don't know how to fix it or anything like that. I don't know how it got broken. It's just so weird. Like, I don't know. I've seen so many friends get in fights with friends over dumb shit over the past few years. It's just over the dumbest shit, Yeah. It's like, it's okay to disagree with your friend, but, don't become, enemies over it.
That's crazy, too. Like, even throughout, like, history, there is kind of disagreements in certain things, but to find like negative aspects about it is kind of weird. Or the whole division of like the country now too. I'm not going into like this whole political thing, but like, like the red and the blues are going crazy. Yeah. Like I can't even call myself a centered person because right away if I mention something that I like from the left, they're like, oh, then blah blah for the right, and if I like something from the right, blah blah from the left. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah. What do we do, Kurt?
I don't know.
Tell me.
It's so weird because like, I don't know, there's so many people on the extreme left and on the extreme right now, it seems like.
I'd like that. trump us that are in the center or like kind of like leaning towards another side.
Yeah.
Because the extremes on the other side. I love those people that are put on blast though, because you see how extreme they are and how ridiculous. I don't know. I don't get how it's done.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's weird. It's a weird time, Kurt. It's very weird.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Being as old as you are.
Thanks.
It's a compliment at that far.
You old cocksucker.
Oh yeah, we were gonna talk. The boiling for soup.
Boiling for soup?
Bowling for soup. I only know like 4 of their songs. That's horrible.
Oh, that's fine.
Trying to think of like High School Never Ends.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Girl All the Bad Guys Want is a good one. Okay. They were nominated for a Grammy.
Oh, on that one? And they did a cover too, right?
1985 was technically a cover.
No, it's not.
Well, it was written by SR-71. But then Bowling for Soup kind of rewrote it.
1985?
Yeah. Well, SR-70, I think it was SR-71. It might have been a different band, but they're like, this feels more like a Bowling for Soup song. So they're like, okay, cool, we'll do it.
They just gave it to them or said to use it? Or
Yeah.
That's weird.
Something like that, yeah.
That's kind of how like comics will just be like, hey, I got this great...
I've done that before where it's like, okay, this joke doesn't fit in anywhere with my stuff, but it fits in perfectly with one of yours here. You can use it.
Okay.
I've done that quite a few times, and I've had comics write taglines for me, and, it's pretty cool.
But that happened with that song.
Yeah. And then they also did a cover of Stacy's Mom because everyone thought that they wrote Stacy's Mom. So they just decided to cover it.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How do you know all this?
Just from reading on the internet and stuff.
But you're also a fan, right?
Yeah, and I know Jared pretty well.
What? How well?
Like, I could text him right now if I wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, I did the intro on my podcast.
Interesting.
Did the intro music.
And, like, how do you know him from, like...
I've known his wife for a long time. So, like, I was performing in Fort Worth, like, in 2009. And I had, like, this shitty CD that I was selling after my shows. It was, like, I didn't know how to edit it. So it was, like, one long track. And then I recorded a show in Albuquerque. So it's, like, a 42-minute CD with no edits.
Just one? At all. Yeah, one track.
One track.
What was it called?
I didn't even call it anything. I think I
Isn't that artistic?
I had it on a Memorex, so I was just telling people my album was called Memorex.
Remember X.
So, yeah, she was the only person that bought one when I was in Fort Worth.
Whoa.
And then her and I became friends. And then about 3 years ago, she came and saw me perform again and brought Jarrett, who she's married to now. And then he added me on Facebook and stuff. And then we just hit it off since then. Like, we started talking to each other and everything. And like, he was asking me about comedy. He's a big comedy fan. So when I started my podcast, I asked him if he would be on there. And he said yes. So that's kind of when I started getting to know him a little bit. Like, talking to him on there. And then we started texting with each other quite a bit. And then I've been on his podcast and stuff like that. And just super cool guy, though. Like, really nice.
I love how that just came to because of his wife. Like,
yeah.
Somebody else at the show that you were doing. That's so sick.
Yeah.
Like those connections, you never know where they're gonna come from.
Yeah, it's so weird, and it's funny because when I met him, like, he looked familiar, but I was like, I didn't think anything of it. And then I got a friend request on Facebook from Jarrett Reddick, and I was like, I know that name. And I looked at his picture, I was like, oh shit, that's Casey's husband. And I was like scrolling down somewhere, I was like, oh shit, Bowling for Soup.
Holy shit, that's him.
Yeah.
Is he verified? He has a verified check mark?
I don't know if he does on Facebook. I know he does on Instagram. But yeah.
That's so sick, though. So
he's such a cool guy.
Have you used any of that? Like, has he helped, like, kind of get you in, like, a producing thing? Or, like, maybe, like, hey, I know this guy. It's a comic. You should put him on your show. Since he might know somebody in a higher up level of the business than you do. I mean.
No, nothing like that.
Not yet, anyways.
No, which is cool.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't just be like, hey, buddy, take this and this and go. Flaunt.
No, I was texting with him one night, and, like, he was pretty drunk, and I was he was like, yeah, if you're needed a writing partner, let me know. And so I was bouncing some ideas off of him. And he's got a great sense of humor. So
nice.
He's a pretty good guy to bounce ideas off of.
That's always the best, too, when you find somebody that's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, I used to have this roommate that I'm pretty sure he's the reason why I got into comedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we would watch, like, the most random stuff, and we would just, like, riff track over it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So much shit we would talk. We would talk so much dumb stuff. And I know it was so, like, oh, my God, shock. It was made for shock.
Oh, for sure.
But me and him had this humor where it was just so funny and so fun. And he'd always tell me, like, hey, man, why don't you just go on stage and do it? Like, you play guitar. Like, why can't you can kill on guitar. Why don't you go do it on stage? And I do it. I find out I can't kill like I kill it on stage. But it's a different vibe. I get it now.
It's so different. Yeah.
But I feel like, again, finding that person that you kind of connect with to write or, like, find the humor in does help branch yourself out.
I've noticed that I write my best material usually when I'm writing with someone. Like, because if I'm just sitting at home, I'm just like I can come up with some ideas here and there, but it's a lot better to bounce ideas off of someone, you know. It's like, hey, is this funny? And then you just kind of start riffing with it, you know, for a couple minutes, and then
nice.
And then you're able to find out if it is funny, and then, you know, come up with some other stuff along with it.
That's kind of like the concept of like improv, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of like trying to come up with it on the spot. And
yeah.
It's funny if it's funny, if it's not. You have the aspect of the crowd to tell you, or you have your partner there to tell you.
Yeah.
Either or.
Which is another cool thing about being in a relationship with a comic. Like, you can help each other with material. Like, I remember me and my ex-wife would do like just goofing around. Like, I would do her jokes, but in my style, like just at the house. And then while doing that, I was able to come up with some taglines for her. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So that was kind of fun. And then she would do my act in her style. And then we'd come up with taglines again. It's like, oh, this is kind of a cool little exercise.
But you guys aren't together anymore.
No.
So much. Dang it. So much for wanting a comic in a relationship. Damn it. Curt, you build me up and then you bring me down. It's what I live for.
Sorry.
Are you a nerd? Do you like nerdy stuff?
Yeah, I can get pretty nerdy. Yeah.
You into the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I like it. Yeah. I'm not like nerdy about it, but I do. I mean, I have a Marvel shirt.
No. Dope. Does it say Marvel or is it a character?
It just says Marvel. It's a white shirt that says Marvel.
That's so generic.
I know.
Do you have a favorite Marvel character if you were to pick one?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I just
like them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like really into comic books when I was younger, you know. And then, I don't know, reading. I got sick of reading, I guess, when I was in high school.
You're like, after I had to read Tom Sawyer, I was done.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Like, who the fuck makes me read Animal Farm at 6th grade?
Yeah.
It's horrible. It didn't make me want to. I didn't want to read until after I was 22.
Oh,
That's when I wanted to like get smarter again because I was in school the whole time. I felt like that made me so much dumber because it's like, hey, follow orders, do what you have to do, be good at what you do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I was just like the dumb kid, and like I even got held back a grade, and I was like, great, look at me, look where I'm at now because I'm trying to do my best. But then when I got out of school, I was just like, holy shit, like look at all the stuff that I can figure out and find out. Like now with comedy, like, do you like research comedy where you end up finding how people write jokes or how jokes are structured? Like you kind of. I
did when I was starting out. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Does everybody do that then? That's
probably
what everybody does.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I took a couple classes and everything. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah.
Kurt took a class?
Oh hell yeah!
As long as it wasn't in clown school or something.
No. No, this guy came.
Shout out to William Wheeler.
Honk honk.
No, but okay.
This guy came in and he did a comedy class at Laughs here in Albuquerque, and nice. I took it for a couple months, and it was cool because he let you just kind of go on stage and be yourself, and like he wanted you to try different things though, which was cool because like I was always like really deadpan and kind of stuck with my one-liners and stuff. And then, so one class we would go and he would just have us go up on stage and like just riff, like just talk about whatever the hell was on our mind, and that was pretty cool.
Okay.
And I got some material out of that. You know what I mean?
But you still kind of learn about structure and stuff.
But
right?
yeah. He taught us how to like, he was teaching us about different voices you can use and stuff like that, and different inflections. But yeah, he taught us how to structure jokes, and I think that's how I really learned how to write one-liners, was with his help.
Okay.
Because I'd been doing it for a couple years, and I felt like I was a pretty solid writer, but thinking back on some of those jokes, it's like, God damn it, those are so wordy. You know?
Okay. So when you're writing a one-liner, though, are you trying to stick to a minimal number of words, or are you just trying to get across a point for a punch?
Yeah, it doesn't matter the amount of words. I never look at that. I try to make it as short as possible, though.
Okay.
And my goal is to always get a laugh every 15 seconds.
So you do know that rule. What is that called? It's called
laughs per minute?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I used to keep track of that like crazy. Like I still kind of do sometimes. Yeah, I would record my sets and just like tally off the laughs and then try to get 4 per minute. And that was my goal.
Interesting.
And yeah, I usually hit it pretty good.
But like, did you do that when you even were starting off?
When I was starting off, yeah. I think it was after I started doing that class.
You found
that when I learned how to tighten up the jokes, and then I was like, okay, I'm starting to get a good rhythm here where I can go, the one-liner, laugh, pause, one-liner, laugh, pause, tagline, laugh,
Okay.
But yeah, like thinking back to some of those older jokes, I was like, God, it's like 2 lines before I even get to the punchline. You know what I mean? So I would see if I could take just the punchline from those jokes and change the setup line. And a couple of them I was able to, where I was like, I can just like totally change the setup line. It doesn't matter if it's a true story or not, as long as I get to the laugh quicker. You know what I mean? Okay. If that makes sense.
And it's just, so when you're saying, would this be considered like a one-liner then? Where I'm just like, I spent 4 years in the military. Give it up for me. I went the KISS Army. Like, is that technically a one-liner?
Yeah.
Or how would that?
I would say that's a one-liner, yeah.
Okay. And it's just because it's kind of one basic idea, setup and punch. Like, I don't know. Explain that a little more to me. If you can. I mean, I'm trying to learn here, brother.
It seems like you got it down. Yeah, it's basically a setup and a punchline. And
but the setup has to be when the punchline comes, but that punchline either has to be, I don't know exactly all the categories of it, but it has to be either surprise, has to be I can't remember, but there's some like I love how you said the shock, but it has to have something that really captures them with the setup.
Yeah, like a turn that they're not expecting.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Like
the misdirect.
Yeah, like the example I give a lot is like, so when I was writing with my friend, my setup line was, I hooked up with this girl recently. She had a tattoo above her vagina that said occupant load 3. And his punchline was, that's not even the weird part. The fire marshal signed it.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of a longer one-liner, but I think it still constitutes as a one-liner.
Okay. Nice.
And it's like quick, less than 15 seconds.
And can you kind of do those same one-liners with different rules? Like, say, is the rule of 3 different than a one-liner? Or can it be aspect in a one-liner?
It could be aspect in a one-liner for sure.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I have a joke. Is it a rule of 3? I have a joke where it's a rule. I can't remember what it is right now off the top of my head, but I remember adding on a third thing just because of the rule of 3.
But it did help it, though, right? It made it so it kind of seemed
it's like a weird... It's a weird third thing that kind of doesn't go. But then I tell the crowds, like, comedy's supposed to be rule of 3. That's why I threw that in.
Oh, okay.
If it doesn't get a laugh, that's what I'll say. But sometimes people will laugh just because it's weird.
Okay. That's crazy. And that's another, again, misdirect or something that throws them off.
Yeah.
Because even then, though, too, you built it up and you did the punchline. But then a tag.
And then I used to do another joke where I didn't have a third thing, but it was like, it was a joke making fun of the singer from Creed. And 2 of the punchlines were about their songs. And then I go, I know jokes are supposed to be rule of 3, but I didn't want to research another Creed song.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
That's a good one.
Yeah, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's so cool, too, listening to everyone's different aspect of how they do comedy and stuff, because I've had Buck D on the podcast a few times, and that dude will make fun of me if I start talking about the rule of 3 or laughs per minute and stuff like that. He's like, you don't need any of that stuff.
You don't.
But it
helps for sure.
Because technically he's doing all the stuff that we're talking about, but he doesn't think he's doing it, right? Like, I can hear it in his jokes. Well, he's getting those laughs per minute, so there's there. And like, oh, you referenced those 3 things. Oh, check that out. There's the rule of 3 in there. So it's just crazy how people don't. I mean, comedy has like the structure of itself, but yet people don't think of it as like, oh, I'm following those rules. I'm breaking the rules of comedy. Blah blah. But yet you're not, because you're doing those things. It's so crazy. How do you feel about like prop comedy and stuff like that, or any kind of like something where they bring something on stage? Like, one of my biggest things that people tell me to do is to bring my guitar.
Oh yeah. I think it's fun.
No.
I mean, as long as it's funny.
It has to be funny.
Yeah. So I did a thing one time where I was performing at the Box, and I hadn't really planned a set, and we were just all doing like 5-minute sets, and it was like all the same comedians that I've been performing with for a couple of years, and I was like, I want to do something different, you know? And there was a guitar backstage, so I grabbed the guitar. I don't know whose it was, but I went on stage, and I sat on the stool with the guitar, and I was like, all right, everyone, I wrote a funny song, and I never really performed in front of anyone, so I'm kind of nervous, but hope you guys like it. And then I strummed the guitar, and I was like way out of tune. I was like, oh, that sounds terrible. I was like, does that sound out of tune? Everyone's like, yeah. So I was like tuning it. I didn't know what I was doing either, so I was like playing around with it. I was like, God, that sounds terrible too. I just did that for like 5 minutes.
Nice.
I was like, oh shit, I'm out of time.
Oh damn! And I was about to play this song for you. That's good, but that's more of like a prop then. It wasn't more of like comedy music. Like, you didn't go up there and be like,
it was totally a prop. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing a song.
Oh damn! And there goes all the hype for that. I was ready. But see, that's what I love too. Is like, so we do this thing 2 nights a week where it's called like The Garage, where a bunch of like the local comedians go and just go into a garage and we'll do 5 minutes in front of each other and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we're like working out and stuff. And I've taken the guitar there a few times, and it gets some laughs. It does some stuff too. But then I listen to like the comedy greats that I really like. Like, I'm really into like the New York guys like Joe List and like Mark Norman and Sam Morril.
Yeah.
Those guys. And they'll literally be like, man, the guitar's so hacky. It's like a crutch, because no matter what, you can even hit a note and just say duh, and you'll still get a laugh. Like, the way they made it seem made me so discouraged from it. Oh yeah. So like, especially starting out in comedy, like, I would want people to think that I was funny with the spoken words that I say, than just me playing a guitar in the background and telling a joke. Because I feel like some of the jokes that bomb, if it was just like a cool little riff in the back of it, it would probably hit a little bit better, because that stupid prop does that. I don't know why, but it does that.
You know, I worked with this guitar comic when I was first starting out, and he's still one of my favorites today.
Interesting.
But so what he does is he'll do about 30 minutes of stand-up, which is great. And then he closes with like 15 minutes of music. And the way he's written it is really good. Like, he makes fun of Green Day a lot. Like, his brother's favorite band is Green Day, so he's got all these songs that he plays. He's like, well, here's how original Green Day is, and then he plays a Green Day song, and then he's got like his pedal on stage, and he just switches it a little bit, and then it sounds like an older song that everybody knows, and then he switches back to Green Day, and it's like, you can tell they totally ripped off the riff. And then, his brother's like, it's just a coincidence. And he's like, oh, is it? And he starts playing another Green Day song, does it again, hits the pedal. It sounds just like another old song.
See, that's what I love but hate at the same time. Is like, as a comic, you don't really have to bring any of that equipment. You can just go up stage and hope if they have a mic, you're good. But if you're one of those guitar comics and you're starting to get intricate and you're just like, hey, maybe I should bring a looping pedal, and hey, maybe I should bring this. Like, that deters, I think, a little bit more from the venue, where they're just like, oh, I thought I was doing comedy tonight. Like, I have to set up your guitar and now I have to set up your pedal. Like, what the hell? That's what kind of deters me from wanting to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's been so many times where I think I would kill at Inside Out. But, again, I have to, like, let them know ahead of time. Like, hey, guys, I'm going to bring my guitar. It's an electric guitar. Like, I have to hook up before I go on stage. And I can bring the acoustic, but the acoustic doesn't sound as powerful if you just don't plug it in. Like, I can play a song and just be like, hey, guys, listen to me. But they're listening just to me. They don't hear the guitar. It's weird. It's one of those things where I'm just like, does it work? Does it not? I don't know. I respect, like, people like Tenacious D and stuff like that, because they were a big influence on trying to, like, make comedy music like that. Yeah. But how did they do it to get on stage if you have nothing but comics that don't have any props, and then you're the guitar guy who's like, and this is what kind of makes me kind of sad too, is I feel like they wouldn't book me because, like, oh man, there's so much extra work to put him on stage. Like, look at these three guys, we can put him on stage right away. Then we bring Angel on here with his whole guitar setup, and then they have to hear me, and then what if they have to hear me first, and then I might do a little decent so that maybe they have more confidence in doing that. But I have to practice.
I mean, people love guitar acts, like, maybe not Mark Normand and all those guys, but
I love Mark Normand.
People who come to see comedy shows, I mean, if you're good, then people really dig it. You know, I've seen some that aren't good, and that sucks. But yeah, I would try it, man. Just
you never know, right?
Yeah. It seems like you're gonna self-sabotage yourself if you don't, which I've done over the years several times.
Interesting. In what ways? Explain more.
I don't know. I just there are times where I'm like, I'm gonna move to LA, and I'm like, I don't want to. And I probably would have been better off if I did, or move to New York or something like that. But just things like that, where I'm like, I
should have done it.
Yeah.
Should have taken that chance.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, and I had a chance to sign with an agent once, and I was like, nah.
Do you think it was that bad of a nah? Or was it just like, it might come again? Has it?
It hasn't.
That's, I don't know, though. But you obviously didn't feel right about it, right? If you did feel right about it.
You know what? I did, though. I was like, man, that would have been cool. But I was like, I don't know if I'm good enough,
I have that problem a lot, too. Especially being newer to the scene. Like, you kind of like, I kind of feel that sometimes where I'm just like, oh man, I'm going out there every night and I'm working hard, but then like, oh, three out of the 5 I bombed so bad when all my friends killed all week. Like, what am I doing wrong? Am I even that good? Am I even the best? And then
sometimes it's like the energy too is like sometimes, like, if you're telling a joke that you've told already that week or something, you're not as excited about it maybe. Okay. And you tell it with a different energy where it's like, here's this joke again. Like, crowds can play on that. They can tell. Sometimes.
Yeah, I've felt that a few times too, when it's like, I know I've done the joke numerous times at the place, but the crowd seems different. Yeah. So then it gives me a little bit more hype
for sure
to do that joke again.
That's what I love about being on the road, is like, I know that probably 99% of the people in this crowd have never seen me. So all this is brand new to them. You know what I mean? So I can do whatever the fuck I want.
And it's funny because you've already have it tried and tested, right? It's dope. Yeah. We're all trying to get to your level, Curt. Well, we look up to you like one of those road comics that is just like, this guy's doing it. He's doing it. And then you tell me your story and you're just like, yep, I'm just like, doing what I'm doing, just like an average dude.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just it's going out and doing it.
And you got to be dedicated too, right?
Oh yeah.
There's some people that say they do it, but then take a month off, take a week off, and they just don't develop as much.
I took 2 total weeks off this year in a row because my daughter came to visit, and I didn't do anything about no writing or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the first time I've ever done that since I started doing comedy.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you're always trying to like write or do something to get anything out there, right? Do you ever pitch ideas to like shows or like submit scripts or?
Yeah, actually, I sent a packet to SNL last year.
Interesting.
I wrote, and that's stuff I normally wouldn't have done too. I'm like, I'm not gonna get picked, so I'm not gonna do it.
But you did it.
But last year I was just like, I know I'm gonna get picked, but I'm still gonna fucking do it.
Nice. That's a way better attitude than like I'm probably not gonna get picked, so I won't.
Yeah, and I felt awesome like doing it, like just submitting it, and I knew I wasn't gonna get picked, but I was like, that was cool to do.
That was kind of the same aspect when COVID hit really, really hard. Jeff Ross was doing this thing called Insta Roast, where he was picking people. He would go live on Instagram for 2 hours and pick people to roast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he had so many people, like 9,000 people watching. So when you're watching it, you're just like, oh man, I'm gonna request that he picks me, but he probably won't pick me. And sure enough, I got picked. And
really?
Yeah, it was so awesome. Like it was so cool. It was like he's like, what did he make fun of? He made fun of like all my dolls and stuff. Like, hey, you have way too many dolls. Like you have a lot of dolls for as old as you are. And then it was great. Ended it, and then I would watch it every week because he did it every Sunday. I was like, okay, cool. Insta Roast again. So not that week after, but 2 weeks after, I did it again. I was like, I'm just gonna request. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna try. And sure enough, he picked me again. And the best part about all of it is that he remembered me.
Oh, cool.
Because he literally is like, you again? Oh my God! Don't you have anything better to do than to be on my roast? And I was just like, the fact that you picked me makes me think that you like what you see. So I thought that was so cool. And I feel like I'm going to put that on all my credits now. Yeah. I got my Jeff Ross Insta Roast.
Yeah.
But I was actually on another game show that was called GGT, Gamers Got Talent.
Okay.
So it was this big thing in Canada where they were actually getting people who submit a video on TikTok to do a show like AGT, like America's Got Talent. But it was mostly gamers. So if you would submit like, hey, I'm a gamer, but I also do this. So I submitted me playing guitar. And out of, I think it was 67,000 people, I made it to the top 32.
Oh, wow.
So I got to go on the live show. It was streamed from my house, unfortunately. They like video chatted with me and stuff. But I got on the live show, and I was on their Twitch channel with 17,000 viewers, which was super cool because like, again, you're just like, holy shit, like I'm gonna be an asshole at this point, but I have people that like are comics are just like, yeah, I just did a show for like 12 people, it's super hot, they were all going crazy, and I'm just like, bro, I mean, I want to be out there too, but you have to hit all these avenues. Like if you can get famous on the internet, then it helps you with your clout on stage, because you could literally just be like, hey guys, this guy was featured on Jeff Ross's Insta Roast. He has a Facebook page with 15,000 followers, and he was on GGT. Give it up for Angel Lopez. And it gives so much of a hype. Then I can bomb. Then the bombing's okay. But if I'm hyped up to that point, that's a little bit better. So I'm actually getting a phone call right now, and usually when this happens, I put it on speaker on here. Hey, what's up? You're on MuseMe TV. We got Curt Flecher in the audience. What's up?
You serious?
Yeah, you're on live with me and Curt. Say hi, Curt. It's Carla.
Hey, Carla.
I was just liking his picture earlier because we're going to be on a show together. I guess
Heck
two shows. Huh?
And you haven't even promoted it yet on my show?
Not yet. I thought we'd do that at the end.
I know, yeah. Come Monday, and then come next month.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's the only reason why I didn't get a hold of you, because I was doing the podcast with Curt.
Oh, you're fine. That's funny. Of course.
So I should be done. I should be done here soon though, so I'll hit you up, okay?
Thank you. You guys have fun.
Bye, Carla.
Oh wait, are you on a Funny Fiesta tonight or anything?
Yeah, we'll probably go to the sketch show and stuff.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. Yeah, we'll link before that then. All right, have fun, guys.
Bye.
Bye. And take people food.
Peace. That's Carla, everybody. Carla Vasquez.
So she's going to be on the show Monday. Yeah, you know what comedian she's going to perform as?
She did say it. God dang it.
She's gonna need a tarp.
Whitney. No, it's not Whitney Cummings, huh?
No.
I don't know who it is then.
Gallagher.
Oh, really? Really? Oh my God! Did you verify this with the venue?
No. We're gonna try to figure something out though.
You really should.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna want watermelon on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna do it. I was thinking we can like open the garage door, and she can just smash watermelon, and the homeless people can eat it.
Oh, that's not a bad idea either. She should do something. I was just thinking like more of a Hispanic New Mexico thing. But there's no really Hispanic fruit. Like,
yeah,
fruit's pretty universal.
Yeah, you can't really smash that green chili.
Right? A mango.
Gets in everyone's eye.
So a mango, that thing just goes.
Yeah.
Shoots out of the skin. Get out of the way! That'd be so scary. Oh man. Carla's cool though. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Thanks for giving me that call. Were you the one that picked who's gonna be like who's playing who on the show? Like you're like, hey, you're on the show and you're gonna be this comedian.
No, I picked the comedians and then I let them pick who they want to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did anybody was like, I don't know who to be, pick for me?
No.
No, they all had an idea. Nice.
Yeah, some of them still haven't decided, so hopefully they do that quickly.
Yeah, because it's next
the
week,
show's
right?
Monday.
Yeah. In 2 days, people. 2 days.
Yeah, I'm going to perform as Zach Galifianakis. I'm pretty excited about that.
I saw that. That should be funny.
Yeah.
You're going to mess
I
up.
just wish I had a piano.
And just mess up your hair a little more.
Yeah.
It looks so neat.
I wish I grew my beard out a little longer, but yeah.
That's good. You remind me when I first saw you, I was like, holy shit, is that Chucky Finster's dad?
Who's Chucky Finster?
You don't know who Chucky Finster is?
Is that from Rugrats?
Yeah. I was like, that's got to be his dad. That's so awesome.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. But then I ended up finding out more about you, and I was like, holy shit, I'm never going to tell him that in real life.
Oh, you can tell me. It's fine.
Now I did. I was like, hell yeah, because like you're actually way funnier than I thought. I was so scared. Going into the comedy scene, I've gotten so scared of introducing myself to people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it feels like so intimidating that you have to network in this industry.
Yeah, I think if you're in your own scene, though, it's a little different because basically everybody's friends with each other, which is great. I mean, not all the time. Not all the time, obviously, but
how is there beef? But there is.
There is, yeah.
It's crazy, but I get what you're saying. Like, everybody knows each other. They at least tolerate each other when they're in the same room.
For sure.
And then we have groups of comedians that group together inside of that. That's crazy, too. I'm just like, oh, man. The reference I've heard is that, again, it's like high school, but you guys are all different classmen. Like, you were to be a higher class than I would be, and I'm just like this freshman dude. Just like, yeah, look at me.
But I'd still hang out with you.
Yeah, because you're a cool senior.
I'm a cool senior.
You're a cool senior compared to like...
I'm not going to paddle the freshman.
You're just like, hey, let's shove his head in the toilet or something. I was thinking of something way more raunchier they do now. What do they do? Talcum powder on your ass or something?
Nice.
I don't know. And the hazing has gotten a lot... not as bad as anymore, I guess, right? You can't, because you'll get in trouble or something.
Yeah, because everyone's got a cell phone, so
it's gonna be like, oh my god, it's horrible. See, that's the thing too. Like, there's so many different like jokes that can come out because you understand someone's humor. But then I'm just like, I'm in front of like millions of people that can cancel me right now. Yeah. I mean, I don't have millions of people. I have 2 people watching, but there's millions out there that have the potential. Right. I'm gonna look over the comments. We got. What is it? Jark One the Chief. He says, "Hey, I know this dude's brother, Chad, has the sickest collection of death metal."
He does.
Interesting. Is he talking about you? Do you
have
a brother?
Yeah, my brother Chad. Yeah.
You have a brother named Chad?
Yeah, he's a big death metal fan.
Does he play any instruments?
He plays drums and a little guitar.
How old is he?
43.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I like that.
He was in a band called Demon Core in Wisconsin in the early 2000s.
Do you know this person?
Who is it?
Jark One the Chief.
Jark no idea.
He's on Twitch, right?
Kind of sounds like a Wu-Tang Clan member.
The Chief also love Kurt's part about New Mexican quarters.
Holy shit!
What is that?
That was like one of the first jokes I ever wrote.
Whoa. Hey, man, if you're still in the comments, let us know who you are. Kurt might know you. That's crazy.
Wow.
I love that. Carla Vasquez gonna bring a tarp and a kiddie pool for
Gallagher.
Yeah, for the mass. Fingers crossed.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so much fun.
And that dude said it's Jacob. I'm Vince Rock's cousin.
Oh yeah, I know him.
You do?
Yep.
Nice. See, look how small this world is. He's on my channel.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Look at what the.
Yeah, I remember Jacob.
That's so crazy. Damn.
I forget his last name. I want to say it starts with an E, maybe.
Let us know in the comment section, man.
Yeah.
Well, see, you're dude. See, your Google's well known. A lot more than other people, that's for sure. I've had conversations on here for hours and nobody started to reference different things.
Oh, really?
Like your first joke? That's awesome.
Yeah, that was like, because when the state quarters started coming out, I was making fun of them, and I did the New Mexico state quarter.
Like a different idea of it?
I came up with what I thought it should be, and it was a rule of 3 also.
Okay.
I remember I was like, it could have this, but I think it should have this.
Ah, nice.
And I don't remember exactly how it went, but I remember it had something to do with Gary Johnson smoking weed or something
on
like
the
that.
floor, the heart attack.
And something to do with an alien, like at the balloon fiat. I don't remember.
Is that still kind of the one-liner structure where you're just like, oh man, this is what the New Mexico quarter should be, and then blah blah blah.
Yeah. It was kind of like that. Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, yeah. I wish I could remember it all. It was funny because my friend Phil was, or he still is. He's a rapper, and he did this song, and he took a sample from he took that joke and put it in one of his songs.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool because he was talking about like all these people that he knew from New Mexico that were like really talented, because we were friends with a lot of bands and stuff like that. So the whole song was like talking about like all these people he knew, and then like there's like an instrumental in the middle, and then it's got there's a clip of me telling that joke. Oh, that was pretty cool.
Nice. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're from here?
I didn't grow up here, but I moved here when I was 17.
Okay. Where are you from then?
I grew up in Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Like where in Iowa? Slipknot, Iowa?
A little bit north of where Slipknot's from, yeah.
Okay. That's so crazy. What made you want to come here then?
My mom moved here when I was in high school, so I was finishing my senior year up in Iowa, and then I didn't like living with my dad, so I came here to visit for Christmas, and I just stayed.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you come to school here?
Yeah, I ended up graduating from El Dorado.
Nice. How did that go? Because one of the biggest things is like that transition thing. Really?
Yeah. First, I had to get used to the altitude. Dude, I would wake up at like 5 every morning for like the first 3 weeks I was here with a headache.
Oh man,
it sucked, but it was cool because like I could just go out on the balcony in our apartment, and the fucking mountains are right there. It's like, that's cool.
It's a good view. Great
and then
scenery.
Some of my credits didn't transfer to New Mexico for some reason.
New Mexico sucks, dude.
Dude, it was so stupid. So I had to take, I forget what they call it here, but it was basically a speech class.
Okay.
Which I took
public
in Iowa.
Speaking, maybe?
It wasn't even public speaking. It was some stupid name they had for it. And they're like, oh, you have to take this class. And I was like, oh, I took speech class. And they're like, well, this is different. I was like, how's it different? Like, we're doing the exact same things. And I was like 2 weeks into it, and I was like, we're doing the exact same things I did in speech class. And I passed, Yeah, and they're like, well, we got to do this. And then, so I had to take like a full day of school at El Dorado, and then I had to take night classes just to get caught up.
What?
Just because those classes that they required here were ones, like the speech class I had already taken and passed, you know what I mean? And then, so like if I would have stayed in Iowa, I would have had like 2 classes that I had to take because I already had all my credits.
Yeah.
And then I just had to pass a government class, and then this one class like all the seniors had to take. But we had a block scheduling then, so you can go every other day. So I would have been going to school like every other day.
Oh, shit.
And finished up, which I probably should have done. Because here I had to take a full day of school plus go to night school. So I had to go to Albuquerque High, which I didn't know where it was.
You're just driving in the night.
I wasn't even driving. I had to take the bus. So I had to take the bus from El Dorado to Albuquerque High.
After.
And like, you know, there was one time where it kind of went off track and I didn't know where I was going. So I had to walk to Albuquerque High and I was like super late. And then I ended up passing like barely. Like I had this one cool teacher. Like, I think she knew, like, how many classes I was taking because I was in 2 of her classes.
Oh, during the day.
And I was just, like, really struggling to get all my homework done because I wouldn't get home till, like, fucking 9 o'clock from night school.
And still have to do the homework from night school.
Yeah. So I was, like, just getting way behind and stuff. And then there was one class I was failing. And I remember she gave us our grades, like, before the final. And we figured out how many points we needed to get whatever grade. And I remember I needed like 128 points out of 200 to pass the class.
Oh, man. And
she graded it like right after you turned it in, and she gave it back to me, and I had like 126.
Nice.
So I just missed it. So I was like, fuck. So I'm going to have to take that in summer school. So I didn't show up to the graduation thing, like the practice or whatever. And someone from the school called me and they're like, hey, where are you at? I was like, oh, I failed economics class. And they're like, no, you didn't. And I was like, what? So I went and checked because the teacher posted the grades on her door. So I went and looked and like she gave me like 4 extra points or something like that. So I barely passed.
Oh, she saw Curt's potential. That's so cool, though.
That was super cool, yeah. So I graduated like barely.
And at that point, did you already have this idea that you were going to want to do comedy?
Oh, yeah. I've wanted to do it since I was 4.
Oh, so you already were just like class clowning it and stuff like that?
No, I was too shy to be a class clown. But
what?
I always tell people I was the class clown's writer. Like, cause my friend Mark that I went to high school with, like he was fucking hilarious. And he just didn't give a fuck. So I'd always sit by him, and if I had a funny line, I'd be like, dude, say this.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was always too shy to goof off.
Until when did that break out?
I mean, once I started going on stage, like, God, it took years to get over the stage fright, but now it's weird because like I rarely get nervous anymore, you know? Like I just don't give a shit. I don't know. Because I bombed like hundreds of times.
So you already
like,
know.
So many times.
Yeah, you know that feeling.
Yeah. And it's like, it stopped bothering me at some point where I think it was like when I'm like, you know, I'm funny. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Yeah. You know? If you're not laughing, I don't care. You don't,
yeah. This isn't my crowd. Hashtag not my crowd.
Yeah. I mean, it still bugs me a little bit sometimes when it's like, if you're on a show and like someone's doing really well and then you bomb and it's like, okay,
what happened?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
But if you're bombing and then another good comic bombs too, you're like, all right, it wasn't me.
Do you have that kind of do you feel that's an actual excuse for comics, is like it was the crowd? Do you think that plays a role?
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah.
Because you know there are those comics that are just like,
the crowd.
It's not the comic, it's the crowd, or it's not the crowd, it's the comic.
It's the crowd a lot of times.
They do that shit to you.
Yeah.
That guy Jark One, the chief.
Yeah.
He said an alien fucked a hot air balloon. That
that was the punchline.
He said an alien fucked a hot air balloon. Yeah.
Fucked. It was something like that. It was like.
Is that like, shock though? Is that shock that he's talking about? That you were talking about?
Yeah. So my punchline was something like
aliens having sex with
the New Mexico quarter should have a 16-year-old alien that's already got 3 kids and is pregnant. Just shitting out of green chili in a meth lab and a balloon or something.
In a balloon.
I don't know. There's a lot of shit.
Headed to Rio Rancho. That's crazy. But yeah, that's just, again, building on that. That's funny. I love that he remembers that, though. That's
great. Yeah, it's so funny.
That's sick.
This
shows your talent.
Wasn't expecting that.
Your talent. That shows your talent, sir.
Yeah, because I haven't told that joke in probably 15 plus years at least.
Well, now you have to bring it back.
Nah.
You were like, it was one of those jokes. It was those throwaway jokes.
Yeah. It's fun. I had a friend show up to a show one time, and he was like, do this joke. And I was like, I don't fucking remember that joke. You know, I did it when I was an open micer.
Yeah, there's so many jokes too that you kind of just throw on the spot.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, I'm just riffing, and it actually came out to be kind of funny.
It's funny what people remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing a show one time, and it was like it's my first time doing like an hour, you know. It was at a place here in town called the Peace and Justice Center, and I was almost done with my set. I had 5 minutes left, and these two dudes walk in. And I was like, oh, your timing sucks because I'm almost done. I got like 5 minutes left. And one of them goes, have you done your diabetes jokes yet? I was like, no. So I closed my set doing the diabetes jokes for those dudes.
Nice.
Because they had seen me at a music open mic that I used to go to and do comedy at.
Like you were like maybe one of two comics?
Yeah.
That's funny when that
Yeah,
happened.
we never told any of the shitty comics about it. It was me and Luis Powell and my friend Mark would go down there.
Oh, really?
And he always gave us 15 minutes.
Nice. Well, there is this one spot. Have you ever heard of the Lizard Tail Brewery?
Yeah.
They have open mics 3 nights a week.
Oh, yeah.
For music, though.
Yeah.
But one of the comics, the newest comic, Christian R, he's totally taking advantage of that the right way.
Yeah.
Like, he'll just be like, yeah, sometimes they give me 15 minutes. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
That's so dope. So I like that he's doing that, though. He's trying to find anywhere he can to do open mics.
That's cool.
Because my biggest problem is my fucking 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
So I don't get off of work till like 7.
Oh, really?
So there's certain mics, like I really wish I could hit Rusty's mic earlier.
Uh-huh.
That one's on Thursdays that I can't hit. I know Bear has a mic on Tuesday at like the German Social Club or something.
Uh-huh.
I can't hit because it's so earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And there's been so many times where like I'm trying to get to your mic, but I have to hit up the guys. I'll just be like, hey man, sign me up. I'm gonna be there at like 8:15. I'm trying.
Anytime you're late, let me know. I'll get you on still.
Yeah. See, but that's good to know too, because I hear that the more you get into comedy, the spots become less available, especially in bigger cities.
Oh yeah.
So like you're probably getting bucket pools, or you have to pay for time just to do like 5 minutes and stuff. Is that something you had to experience before?
I've never had to experience it, no.
Would you? Like, well, not anymore, but when you were starting off and you went to like New York and they were like, hey, there's 4 clubs. 2 of them, though, you have to pay $5 to get in. Like,
I probably wouldn't have.
You wouldn't have? Interesting. That's cool, though.
Yeah. No, I don't know. That doesn't sound appealing to me at all. I was like, I guess I won't be a comedian.
It's just, I'm here to try to make money, not give them money.
Yeah.
But how do you feel then too about certain variety shows inside of comedy? So like if they do a show packed with a bunch of different things, where they're just like, hey, they got jugglers, they have burlesque dancers, they got a comedy guy, and they have a singer. Like,
oh, I'm cool with that. Me and Holly actually used to run our show at Bert's Tiki Lounge, and we used to do that.
Oh, really?
We would have, it was mostly comedy, but we always had at least one burlesque dancer, and then we'd close it with a musician.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how many shows have you used to run here in Albuquerque?
I used to run that one with Holly. Then I had a venue downtown that I did shows at. It was like, what was it called? It was on the corner. It was like 405 Central was the address. I know that. So my friend worked at a restaurant that was attached to this bar, and he let me do shows in the bar on Wednesday nights.
Oh, okay.
So I would do like 3 open mics a month and then a showcase at the end of the month where I brought in like an out-of-town comic.
Okay.
But then I had, that didn't last very long, a couple months. And then I had another restaurant that let me do every Saturday where I would book comics, and I brought some out-of-town comics and stuff, and then it started getting a hassle, like asking for them to pay me, like every week. Like they were always trying to make excuses and shit. You know?
Oh.
And it's like, it's fucking packed in here, dum-dum.
What's going on, man? I'm making money somewhere.
Yeah, so I did that for like 2 months, and I just got tired of dealing with them. So I was like, I'm not going to fucking bring people out and then, have to argue to get paid.
Well, I mean, yeah, that probably sucks for you too, because these out-of-state comics are just probably like, oh, hey buddy, what's going on? And you're just like, give me a second, I'm over here talking.
Yeah,
to
and it's
manager.
like I wasn't taking any of the money. I was giving it all to the headliner. You know what I mean? And so it wasn't a lot. It was like $150, but
that's still kind of technically what it should be, right? Like any of the money that is made is for headliners, then
for sure
maybe features and the opener is lucky to get time on that show.
Yeah. I mean, what I would do is like, I would usually host the show, so nobody had to host, and then I would have a headliner do like 45 minutes, and then have like a local feature act do 25 to 30. Then I think I would do like 3 locals doing like 5 to 7 minutes before that.
Okay.
So it was a cool show, I thought. It was just, I don't know, it was kind of a weird setup. And then, like I said, dealing with the guy, I was like, fuck this.
So you kind of find that in the comedy scene too, right? You'll find people that are just not great to work with.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, you seem like cool, or blah, you're not. Because that's my next goal is to try to find a place where I can put on a mic. Because, I mean, I'm glad that we have mics going on.
Yeah.
But the more mics we can get, the better.
For sure.
And probably depending on how well it does and stuff, that attracts more people to come to it, right? I mean, again, I'm still so like mediocre at trying to figure out how to work my way through the comedy, but I feel it does have similar aspects to the music scene. That's why I'm not so like, I'm so scared, I don't know how to do it. I just got to really kind of push myself like I used to with my band. Like we would just do those things where we're just like, hey guys, hey, is there any way we can play here on Saturday? Hey, we'll send you a demo. I'll send you a video of us playing in front of people where they're going crazy. Like, can we do all this stuff? So that's kind of the same aspect when you're trying to book these venues and stuff too, right? For comedy, you just hey, I got this credential, I can do this, I've done this. It's just...
For sure.
It's kind of hard when you don't have that experience. It's like getting a new job, right? It's like experience needed. It's like, hey, I want to do it. It's like, get some experience. Give me some fucking experience. Yeah. So I don't know. It's crazy.
What's your band called?
My band is called Causes to Become.
Cool.
Causes to Become. We were a 3-piece melodic death metal band.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm really into soloing. A lot of like intricate guitar lines, just riffing, just...
Yeah, I watched some of your stuff on Instagram when you posted it. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm fucking... You know what's crazy about that, though? Is, like, I think I'm a very talented musician, and I'll post something to be like, I'm going to impress the world with this. It gets, like, 3 likes.
Yeah.
But then I post my fucking controversy about Dave Chappelle, and guess what? Everybody in my friends section wants to talk to me now.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Just post an instrumental and be like, this one's called Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special.
Right. Let me know what you think. Or yeah, exactly. That's how all the comments should just be. Well, I mean, I don't know. What do they say? Any publicity is good publicity?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if you're a fan of that or not, but
I am. Yeah.
You would be good if you were hated on too.
For sure.
You're not that.
I've actually, I would like that more now.
You're like, I just
weed out my friends list a little bit.
It's like, I just want to see who really thinks I'm funny and who doesn't.
If I know who my real friends are.
That's good. Squid Games, dude, I'm telling you.
Dude, that was a great fucking show, man.
Did you watch it? The whole thing?
I watched it twice, yeah.
Whoa. Okay, here's the true question. Did you watch it subbed or dubbed? I didn't think this question was that hard.
No, I zoned out a little bit. What are we talking about?
Okay. If you watched the Squid Game subbed or dubbed?
Oh, yeah, I watched it dubbed both times.
Both times?
I thought it was funny because like the voices didn't match up with the characters, which made it funny.
But then when you see the American characters, right? Those the VIP people and stuff. Yeah. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. So once again, spoiler alert. Pew 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 pew. But yeah, I love when you see those white people in there, and I'm just like, oh my god, dude. Of course Korea would make this so awkward.
Yeah.
But again, that's just people are like, yeah, the Squid Game is so amazing. It's like, dude, that's just like this anime called Darwin's Games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And to be fair though, there's multiple anime that have these same concepts.
Okay.
And I was just like, this isn't new. Like, everyone's thinking like this is the breakthrough of like media. They're just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe this is coming out of Korea. Like, wow. Like,
well, I also heard that the guy wrote it like several years ago and pitched it to a lot of places.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah.
That's true. And then finally Netflix is like, we have enough money to make whatever.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Mm-hmm. But look what happened. It's like one of those, it's like a Tiger King thing again.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, everybody. Do you think there would ever be a real life Squid-like game besides NFL? I mean, just saying.
Oh man, that'd be fun. I remember George Carlin had a joke about Monday Night Crucifixion.
Oh man, yeah, that's so funny.
Put it all on pay-per-view and balance the budget.
We're good. If we got the ticket sales, we got the views. I don't know. I think that's something that's like inevitable in our future.
Yeah.
If people have enough money to do whatever they want, they will do whatever they want. I don't know. I wish I had money so I can do cool things.
Right?
I mean, not Squid Game things, but
yeah.
still cool things.
I would do a lot of fun shit.
What if you had unlimited amount of money? Where's one thing you would want to do that you've never done, that you've always wanted to do?
I think it would be hilarious to build a parking lot downtown and put in every single parking spot no parking. Every single parking spot would just say no parking. But so it's just like a blank concrete space downtown where no one can park.
You would just,
but it's like got parking spots.
It looks like you can park.
Yeah,
there.
It looks like a parking lot, but nobody can park there.
Park there. Interesting. I wonder how much that would cost.
And it'd have meters and everything.
Everything. Interesting.
I think that'd be kind of funny.
That's really all you'd buy with that money?
Well, that's the first thing that came to my head.
We could probably get a loan on that right now. We can get that taken care of today. I don't know. I'm kind of into the whole going to space thing. I think that thing seems cool. Like, I mean,
be the first comedian in space.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, or the first Mexican. One of the two. Either or, whatever comes first. But I would want to do something like that, or just like, I like expensive things.
Mm-hmm.
Like a really, really, really nice car, like Lambos or something like that.
Oh yeah,
I think those are cool.
Yeah, those are nice.
You think you can see yourself in one of those?
Nah, I drive a Toyota Camry. I'm pretty happy with that.
It's like, if I were to have all the money in the world, I want a 2022 Toyota Camry SE edition. That's what
it's funny because I like cars growing up and stuff, but once I start going on tour, I was like, I just need something dependable that's going to last a long time.
And the Corolla's it, guys. Curt knows. He's been in, 32?
32, yeah.
32 states with the Corolla?
Camry.
With the Camry, which is technically a Corolla, just a different model, all over the states.
Oh, yeah, man. It's gets me everywhere.
How many miles you got on that bad boy?
230,000.
Damn, he's still kicking strong.
And I just got it like 5 years ago.
Oh, nice. What year?
2001.
Okay.
Yeah, it only had like 67,000 miles on it when I got it.
Something about foreign cars that are just way more dependable. Mm-hmm. I drive a Subaru, and besides looking like a lesbian, that's my shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm either drifting a corner or I'm picking up my girlfriend from Sidewinders. Either or, it's still fun. What else? I mean, we've been here for an hour, 47 minutes. And this is all it is like, you just come in, we just have a conversation.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
I'm not trying to, like, push an agenda on you. It's like, are you a religious person? Do you believe in Jesus Christ? Let's start talking about that. Like, it's whatever. There's so many different aspects of the world and what we want to do. This is just technically a wannabe Joe Rogan experience podcast. So I'm glad that I've gotten to know you better, Curt.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Hopefully you can come back. We can do some more. There's always something to talk about.
Oh, for sure.
Like always.
For sure.
Just wait. 7 months from now, it's going to be like, the Hunger Games.
The world's going to be totally different.
No, it won't.
It might be.
It won't. It really won't.
You don't think so?
6 months from now, no. Maybe in like 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm looking more as a 3-year span. But 6 months, I don't know. I think more like people trying to fake COVID. I think that's going to happen in 6 months.
Oh, yeah?
Like, fake it, though. Like, literally, like, I can't go to work. I got COVID. It's like, we've had COVID for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Have you had COVID yet?
No, not yet.
Have you, dealt with it in any way or vaccinated or anything like that?
No.
How do you feel about the vaccines?
I was planning on getting it, and then I felt weird when
I literally said there's no agenda, and now we're at the.
I thought it was weird when it seemed like they were trying to bribe people to get it.
Yeah, I got $100 from Walmart.
Yeah,
literally.
And that's when I was like, why are they bribing people to get it? That's kind of weird.
Do you think it was like a competition thing with other countries? They're like, hey, we got to make sure we're more vaccinated than China.
That's like a Girl Scouts competition.
Yeah, exactly.
We sold more vaccines. We got to go on a trip to Hawaii.
You're right, and you have more people.
And New Mexico did that giveaway where it's like they were giving away $1 million or something. They were doing a drawing.
Jesus.
It's like, where'd that $1 million come from?
Right. Jesus. Governor just opened up the drawer. There we go. All this mass money. I don't like the mandatory for government workers.
Yeah.
I know they tried to do that and they caused a whole bunch of controversy with that, so they kind of had to push back a little bit. But I still feel they might do it. Like they might push it more. Because at my work, I work at a retirement home with old people. Yeah. So they really tried to push it on you. And they literally like, hey, if you don't get vaccinated, we'll have to take you off the schedule. Oh, yeah. And then you're just like, well, I need to make money. Like, how am I going to live? Do I have to go find another job? And they're just like, no, you just get vaccinated and you'll be fine. So they kind of like didn't make it seem like they were going to fire you, but they kind of already put you on, like, we're going to have to take you off the schedule. And you're not going to be making any money if you're not vaccinated. So that was shitty. So
yeah, that's not cool.
I ended up getting the vaccine. I mean, which is okay. I'm not one of those big advocates where it's just like, oh no, this is the zombie virus or something weird like that, like whatever. Like,
yeah, for sure.
But it does kind of suck that I got pressured into doing it just to keep my job.
Yeah, that's the one thing that bugs me too, is like people like trying to pressure other people into doing it. It's like, just let people decide if they want to or if they don't want to, you know? Yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, Curt, as long as you stay healthy, we'll be looking out for what you do here coming up soon. Night of the Living Comics happening this Monday, Inside Out. Yeah. You'll be on there as well as hosting?
Yeah, I'll be hosting, yep.
And be on the show, right?
And performing as Zach Galifianakis.
Heard that. We have other people on that show as well. Bunch of local comedians. So, yeah, make sure to tune in for that. Anybody else on here? We got 3 viewers, and Carla said, empty parking lot. Laugh out loud emojis.
I'm glad someone's on board.
So, yeah, we all want to waste.
Can you imagine how pissed someone would be?
Yeah, you're wasting government money.
Like, this is awesome. The empty parking lot. Ah, fuck.
Like, literally, there's a guy there, too, the whole time.
Yeah, like a parking lot attendant.
He literally has to watch.
I'll just pay him like all day just to stand.
Exactly. Got multiple shifts.
I might do it myself.
Just to save a couple bucks, you know?
Just to see the look on people's faces.
That would be actually pretty funny. What is that? That reality TV show kind of gimmick. We just have a bunch of cameras set up at an empty parking lot. Yeah. Like, watch as pedestrians try to park in this parking lot. Today on True TV. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining. Curt, you're amazing. We'll get you back on here. Oh, yeah. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. Just Google MuseMe TV. I swear to God, it'll be one of the first things that pops up. We'll be having more stuff coming up. Also be dropping Zach's podcast as well. Make sure to tune in for that. I don't know if you'd ever want to be a guest on that podcast, but I produced Zach Abeda's podcast.
Oh, cool.
Fiend City.
That'd be great.
So I know we're always trying to look for guests and stuff, so we'll be hitting you up for that shortly as well.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
Hit us with some outro music.
Me?
I don't care.
No. Oh.
Yeah. We're going out of here.
Outro music.
We're out of here. Just kidding.
Bye-bye.
I didn't mean to put him on the spot. He's like a really nice man.